Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have a 2024 Ram 3500 Limited Longhorn. And yes, it is a dually. I got this truck from Larry H. Miller Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. If you would like to purchase it, it is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see what is optional and standard on this build. So here are the specs at the very top. Be sure to pause it. Base price is $78,075, and then here's a short listing of the standard equipment. Now, down below is all the options here. So you have Pearl Paint, Towing Technology Group, Safety Group and Protection, and then cold weather's right there. And at the very top is everything else. So you have the fifth wheel, and this one does charge for the lower two-tone paint. Here's a few more things. The Longhorn Level 1 equipment group comes standard, although it does show as an option here. I'm not sure why they do that, but a few other things for the dual rear wheels, the 410 and high output Cummins, and then dual alternators is right there. Destination is $1995 with a total price of $107,920. And here is the pricing online. They have it priced at $101,431. Now I am kind of shocked that the two-tone paint was an extra charge, but most people buying this truck probably would prefer the monochromatic look, which is available for the Limited Longhorn, or the chrome package, which would give you the chrome front bumpers if you want that true cowboy look. But one thing I've always liked about the Limited Longhorn was the front grille. I love the horizontal bars that run through it, and it just looks a little bit more cleaner, and it'd be a little bit easier to clean too compared to the Limited grille. I had that one, and that grille, that adds another 20 minutes onto your cleaning process. But nevertheless, you have the premium headlights, which are only available for Limited Longhorn and the Limited. Now, if you want the blackout look, you can get them on the Rebel and the Power Wagon as well, but they're blacked out. Black recovery hooks, they did change those. They used to be chrome, kind of like the ones that are on that Limited back there. That's a little bit older truck, so I guess they decided they just want to go with black ones. Probably just easier to just build those versus two sets. You can see that they hide those front parking sensors, forward facing camera right in the center. And then here's just a better look at these headlights too. Really nice design, full LED, reflective style fog lights, work really good at night. They're almost as brighter, or I should say it's wider than the headlights on the truck. And when you get a dually, 17-inch wheels come standard, and you guys notice that this truck does have the fender flares. You only get fender flares on Limited Longhorn and the Limited now. So Nexen tire, not my favorite, but LT 235/80 17. And you guys can see here's some of the capacities for the tire. That's 3,085 pounds for single, 2,835 pounds for dual. Solid front axle. And here are the mirrors. You don't often see these with the chrome, by the way, too. Power deployable running boards. I do like how they don't put chrome on those. The other two brands do on some of the trim levels. Painted door handles, and you have smart key system on the front doors. And then here's your dually bed. Now, as you guys saw on the window sticker, 50-gallon fuel tank. You would kind of be an idiot to buy this truck without the larger fuel tank. I'm just saying. And you have a 5.7-gallon DEF tank. And then because the truck has the air suspension, you're going to have a slightly different leaf pack. So you have 4 leaves in the main pack. And then the air suspension, you can see a little bit better out back. So you can see right there, it's on both sides as you would expect. 410 rear. So this truck basically has max tow with that 410 and the high output Cummins. Now, the inner wheel is going to be a steel wheel, so they don't give you a aluminum one, which I would like to see on these higher trim levels over 100 grand. LED taillights. Here's that Longhorn badge right there. They hide those parking sensors down below. LED license plate lights, and then you have a 12-pin for camera view, and then your 7-pin, and then this is for the rear view mirror for the tow mode. And there's also another LED strip right there. You got a light down there and backup camera. Of course, you would have an assisted tailgate. You have another 7 and 12-pin. Bed lights can be turned on and off from the bed. Fifth wheel prep package is right there. What do you guys think about this two-tone? I'm not a huge fan of it. But let's go ahead and pop the hood and talk about this high output Cummins. Now, nothing has changed since, what, 2022 with this engine. I think they might have added more horsepower for the high output either in 21 or 22, but 420 horsepower and 1,075 pound-feet of torque. The Eisen transmission is still behind it. That's the AS69RC. I do know that Eisen does have 10-speed transmissions now. So hopefully in the future, if Ram decides to stick with them, you'll see that behind this engine. Now, I will say this engine does not need 10 gears. I think 7 or 8 would be more than enough, because whenever I towed with this truck in the past, I always feel like I was just missing 1 gear. That's it. And this truck does have the dual alternator, so there's one kind of like right between this like snorkel for the intake, and then there's one on this side here. Most buyers for the limited Longhorn buy this truck because of the interior, like the attention to detail. Even like this wood trim piece, for example, you can feel how porous it is, and this is real wood, but look at the graphics on this leather trim piece and some of that stitching. And even the seats, like I like the overall design. You have perforated leather. They do have that limited Longhorn badge right there, tilt headrest, and even on the steering wheel you have more of that stitching, wood trim piece right there, even on the side here. And these floor mats are beautiful too. Look at them. You have removable carpet right here, and they have some graphics there with some bob wire. And I believe these floor mats are like $700 to $1,000 in that ballpark. Typically, is what I see them go for used. And I don't believe you can order these after the fact. So if you lose them, or if your truck doesn't come with them, yeah, that sucks. But you have adjustable pedals here. You have your automatic headlights and some more lighting switches for the interior. 12-inch gauge cluster, and notice how they wrap this in leather too. Really nicely done. But 12-inch displays right here, and here's some of your full drive buttons there. Push button starts just above that. And then check this out. This has all been redone over the course of time. So you have your trailer brake and your trailer steering assist. Because this truck has air suspension, you have the alternate trailer height right there, tow haul mode, front and rear parking sensors, you have your exhaust brake and traction control. Let's go ahead and start it up. Even this right here is wrapped in leather. There used to be a wood grain piece right there, but they took that away too for some reason. Black roof, so it goes really well with this dark interior. And then you have more of that wood trim piece up here. Some stitching, very soft touch on the dash. This is basically like a vinyl leather. Hopefully you guys can see that too. And check this out. Big old limited Longhorn badge right there. And in the center, they give you these covers on the higher trim levels, which look a lot nicer. Tons of storage. You have one USB, so type A in there. You have storage back there. And then at the very front, wireless charger, 120 volt plug down below. You have 4 USBs, type A and type C's. And this screen, one of my favorite things about Ram is this menu. So this is the vehicle information, so this is your MPG. Then you have your gauge summary, so you have some gauges here, and then this is the third page. Tire pressure for all 6 tires, and here's for your pretty much your turbo diesel, exhaust brake, boost pressure, and then you have your DPF. This is going to be for fuel filter life, also your idling, and back to the beginning. They have your trip information, and you can do full screen navigation. Now, this truck doesn't have heads-up display. I feel as though this would be nice to have inside the screen, like the navigation. So that's something that is nice. You do have off-road pages too, and that's pretty much everything I would care to show you. Now, because you have this vertical screen here, the layout is cumbersome for some people, but I like it still. I think that for me it still works. Like if you want to turn on your heated or ventilated seats, you have a button right up top there, but you can still control the fan and the temperature outside the screen, which is nice. If you want to turn off the screen, there's a button on the side right there. And then last thing I'll show you guys is vehicle information. So here's some of your cameras. I'll show these to you guys in a second. but there's tons of cameras you can use. You have trailer cameras, so you have a trailer reverse guidance, and then that auxiliary you have the cam aux 1 and aux 2. Those are for the 12 pins on the outside. Also, you guys probably didn't see the cameras on the side of the mirrors, but here they are right there. There's one on both sides. Let's go ahead and check out the interior on the passenger side. And all I wanted to really show you guys was this cover here. Really nicely done. Has that cowboy look to it. And they do give you like this velvet material inside of here with the light. Most of the manufacturers don't do that. And 10-way seat. Out back, you guys can see this is kind of where the Ram goes downhill, because this cab is kind of small because of this cab being from 2009 really. But there is a little bit of storage below the seat here. You have this tray that pops out if you need to sleep in the back of your truck. 4 USBs, another 120, I call it 120 volt, but they say 115 volt. Outboard heated seats, cup holders right there, air vents, and I like the overall design of this too. Someone pretty much undid it, but I redid it back on that side. But really cool. Let's go ahead and take the truck for a quick drive. So here's a quick spoiler alert. I have not actually done the review that you just saw. I'm actually coming back from the force, so I just had a chance to put this up against a King Ranch, so you might want to subscribe because you want to see these side by side. It's going to be a good video. But nevertheless, I don't know what axle ratio this truck has because I haven't looked yet, but I'm willing to bet you it has a 410 rear end, because I'm running at basically 79 miles an hour and I'm at 2200 RPMs. And I do know this truck has the air suspension because I can see down below here has the alternate trailer height. So if you're looking to buy a $100,000 Ram, I would almost just say get air suspension, because having the air in the rear, it makes the biggest difference with these trucks, guys. So just keep that into the back part of your mind. But even though this truck is so outdated, this is a really comfortable riding pickup truck. And hey, if you can get this truck 10-12 grand off of MSRP, I mean, this puts it cheaper than the GMCs and the Fords, because in a lot of cases they're not really discounting their trucks right now. So I always recommend still putting this on your list, unless you already had two Ram trucks or whatever. You just don't want to buy a third one. I get that. But if you're a Ford guy or if you're a GM guy, 100%, this is such a nice pickup truck. And when you throw it into full exhaust brake, it works every time. That never gets old with Ram trucks. Even if I don't do a video, if I have to drive a Ram truck somewhere or whatever, I always put the exhaust brake on because I just want to hear it and feel it, because it feels so strong. Let me just show you guys something really quickly. I did reset the trip computer here, so far we've driven 10 miles, 13.6 mpg. I got 14 on the way there, but if you ever need to like check on like your cargo or anything like that, I do like that you have all these different cameras. So here's a cargo camera right there, and let's see how long it stays up. Sometimes it'll stay up for the full time. You can actually zoom in. Okay, so it does go away, but it also has like camera views like this too. So if you want to see on the side of the truck, you have those availabilities, and you have like a trailer reverse guidance here too. And then you have this as well. So you have the cameras on the mirrors that I showed you guys. You can basically split it like this, and voila. You know what Ram's motto should be? No excuses. You guys see that? All I have on is full exhaust brake. I don't even have tow haul mode on, and when you have tow haul mode on, it's even stronger. But yeah, the exhaust brake on this truck works phenomenally. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final MPG, and I'll show you guys the payload. Here's the final MPG, 14.3. Now as far as numbers go, you guys can see right here, the gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 6,000 pounds. The rear is 9,750 pounds with a 14,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. These are 17 by 6-inch wheels. And here is the payload. So 5,082 pounds. This truck does not have the sunroof, so that probably would reduce it by a little bit, but I think it would still be over 5K. But that's pretty good for this type of pickup truck. Hope you guys liked the video. I am going to be putting this up against a King Ranch, so stay tuned for that. See you guys soon.